Hello everyone, it's Yogi here. I hope you're well. Wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, or maybe good evening to you as well. And I hope you're ready for a spot of stitching with me. So, this is the victim for me today. This piece is a 14 count, one of the 14 count projects that I go back to from time to time. And every time I come back to a 14 count project, it's like going home for a nice rest. And so this piece I have chosen previously was known to me as the wedding dress shop. So it's a picture of a wedding dress. Let me show you what it's like if you haven't seen this before. So this is one of the artwork, probably 3 of the 14 count projects I've got. They're created by an artist called John O'Brien. And I really only found out very recently. And I kind of knew that some pieces are probably created by the same artist, but it took a while for me to figure out. And also I figured out the actual title of the artwork as well. It's called Maison Romantique. Okay, I'm not going to try out my French here. But you get the idea. It's romantic house, and indeed it's romantic because it's a wedding dress shop. So quite a few of John O'Brien's artwork is based in European streets, and particularly France as well, and Paris. As you can see, there is a silhouette of Eiffel Tower, I believe. So whether this is an actual street view or fictional from his imagination, I don't care. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I've been working on this piece for a little while, probably on and off for about maybe over 2 years. And this is probably one of the first 14 count cross-stitching kit, full coverage that I've got. And so this piece, I have worked on. Let me show you my progress with this piece. So I have finally transferred this piece onto Saga. So, you know, I think all of my projects that you can see on this channel right now have been transferred to Saga. So I'm really, really happy. And this is where I am today. And if you see those little dark sort of lines here, outlines here, these are back stitches. So all these 14 and the 14 count projects that I bought from the same company, all of them are beautifully charted, and also all of them have back stitches. So it's something to look forward to once I perhaps finish this page and then move on. Before I move forward, I'll probably apply some back stitches as well. It's great fun. So today I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to focus on the cross stitch elements here. And let's look at the stats here. We like a little bit of a stat here. So currently I'm close to 10% with this piece, which is not too bad at all. And I'll tell you a little bit of the history of this project with me. This is actually the restart, okay? And the restart maybe during the COVID period. And so on the right here, I am going to tap on the sprint and create a new sprint. Okay, I'm going to be very careful and not erase all my stitches there, which will be disastrous. So I'm creating a new sprint which will capture all the stitches I made for today's session here. Good, beautiful. So it starts from 0, and as you can see, if you look to the left and the bottom there, where it says floss solid, it's got 55 colors involved, but also a couple of blend threads as well. And it's, you know, these projects I really love. They're so well charted and really interesting. So whoever charted these pieces have taken a lot of care. And so you can tell where I am right now. So this is the full size of the project. It's not super massive, but it's by no means small. And this is one of my first experiences of full coverage. So, you know, it was a learning curve. It was a learning curve. So here, let me move back to my view here. And I want to say hello to all of you. Who is our first today? Let's have a look. Oh, it's Jerome. Hello, well done. You're the first one. Welcome. First to report to the chat. And we have our Sarah as well. Sarah with yellow heart, golden heart of gold, isn't it, Sarah? And also we have Michelle Brown as well. We're going to highlight the first three, okay? This is the rule from today. And she says, howdy, everyone. We also have Nido and the Dutch joining us. Good to see you. Let me just adjust my screen here a little bit here. And everybody's starting or at least getting the chart for the traveling library. Is so exciting, isn't it? And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. And Maddie is also here. Maddie's Budget Corner. I love that name. And Lorraine is also here as well. Hello, hello. She says, hello, everyone. And I don't know what she's responding to. I'll just go straight in the middle of the conversation there. And let's have a look. Suzanne is also here as well. Hello, welcome. And Arrow Stitches, welcome back to join us. And Christian as well. And hello, hello. And Chloe C, welcome back. Good to see you. And Susan, of course, Susan, my love, is here in the chat with me. And Susie, Ruby Reed as well. Welcome, and well done for making it to the live stream here. And let's have a look. Leslie is also here. Welcome. Mandy, Turtle Stitcher. Hello, hello. And Ren as well. Welcome. Turtle Stitcher. I think I've just read your name here. And Busy Mom as well. Busy Mom says, hello, everyone. I'm a little late. Was in the meeting at work. Oh, we'll keep it very, very quiet. And Tina. Hello, Tina. The first to join the chat. We need to highlight the newcomers. Tina. Hi, everyone. First time on the chat. Say hello to Tina. Let's welcome Tina to the chat. And also we have Everyday Creator. Well, welcome back. And Calming Stitch Pattern as well. Welcome, welcome, Rochelle and Sophia and Katarzyna. Welcome back. And Ashley Wilkinson. Caroline is also here. And Ebony, our favorite it girl, is also in the chat. Say hello to Ebony. Oh, my goodness. So good to see you. And, you know, we're one day away from Friday. It's almost weekend, guys. Oh, almost weekend. So happy Thursday here from Yogi. So with this piece, and this is a 14 count project, okay? And I absolutely love it. So this was a cross-stitching kit I got from Amazon back in the days, a few years ago. And when I first got it, this might be the first one out of the four that I got. And I kind of just, you know, I bought it because I was intrigued by the full coverage, didn't have a name for it. And I kind of just left the kit in my drawer for over a year. I think this one I got maybe sometime 2018 and didn't know how to, what to do with it. Give me a little sec here. Oh, sorry. Just need to clear my throat there, having a little cough. I'm going to have a sip of my tea here, okay? So today I have taught a few classes, so my voice might be protesting a little bit. Let me take a little sip of my tea. And while I'm doing that, let me know what you're working on today and what you're drinking, the power drinks and power snacks. I need to know everything. Go. So today I'm having this right here, one of my favorite at the moment, ginseng matcha green tea, and it's piping hot. It's in my flask here, being kept warm. Very nice, really, really hot. So So when I got this kit, I literally didn't know what to do with it. So I left it in the drawer and I just went about, doing my usual craft things, some cross stitching, sampler or simpler pieces from Dimensions and stuff like that. I love Dimension kits. And up to that point, cross stitching for me, they always come in a kit. I didn't know you could, chart and buy the chart only and kit it up yourself. It was a completely alien world to me, and I had no idea. So I think just briefly before, when was that? Before COVID, I decided to take it out and start to have a stab at it. And the stab at it I did, a couple of streams ago, if you're watching, let me just take my first color here and I'll tell you what happened as I'm stitching. How's that as a plan? Okay, after all, this is a stitching channel. Somebody has to make a few stitches as we chat, okay? But there's a history with this project. And, oh, I love this bit right now. So, so far, I've completed 2 pages on the left here. I have a center start, second page finish, and moved on to third page. And the reason I'm working on page by page is because up to this point, I was using markup RXP, and the easiest way for me to work on projects with that app was doing page by page. So, I'm going to complete this page and decide what to do. So far, I am going to just follow the boundary of the page here. So let me pick. Oh, I'm so happy now it's on Saga now. So I can do whatever I want. So let me pick a color and let's do some stitching. How's that? So I am going to start with something a little bit slightly darker actually. I don't want to do air stitching as a starting point. So let's have a look. Let's pick this one. How's that? I have just literally imported this this project onto Saga, so I need to adjust some of the settings here. I think pink is probably giving me enough contrast here. Good. So the first color is a brown. It's a dark brown. Why not? It's A44, and oh, we have so much to talk about to catch up. A44 here. Let's have a look. A44 is a nice dark brown here, and I've got one already ready for me. So 2 strand, 2/1 full cross, nice and easy. And let's have a look. And Silver Stitches says, can people see me? No, tell Silver we can't see her. We have no idea. It's like, we hear something, but we don't see her. Not at all, Silver. And who else is here? Let's have a look. Oh, Silver says, oh, Yogi did not say hi to me. Oh no, I that happens a lot, Silver. And no, I cannot read. If you know me by now, the regulars will know. If I do not call out someone's name, it's me, not you. Okay, it's me just being sloppy with reading. So Silver, okay, I see you now. So sorry. Yes, hello, Silver. You're not invisible at all. Listen, your computer is not glitching. Okay, it's Yogi that's glitching, and she glitz a lot. So there you go. Everybody say hello to Silver for me, so she will forgive me. Okay, and Mandy says, if anyone I skipped or I didn't skip, anyone I didn't see, just give me a little wave. I'll say hello to you 3 times, okay, to make it up for you. And Mandy says working on Nightmare Before Christmas and drinking water. Very sensible. Nightmare Before Christmas. Well, a clever piece, isn't it? It's a combination of both, Halloween and Christmas as well. I like clever stuff like that. Wonderful. And Suzanne says, I'm messing with floss. Again, I'll start mini cat nap tonight. Beautiful. Suzanne, are you, oh, it's a mini one you're having. Yes, I love that piece. It's so sweet. So sweet. And Silver says, I also asked if people could see me. Have art lives before. No one has seen my comments. Oh dear. That would be a little bit spooky there. And Rochelle says, drinking water, no snacks yet. That's the key word. Working on my landscape as usual. Wonderful. Wonderful there. So let me make my first few stitches. I think I'm going to change it to blue. I'm just more used to blue there. Hopefully there's enough contrast here for me to see where they are. Here we go. So I'm going to start here. So this piece, the first attempt, it was back in 2019, just maybe a couple months, 2 or 3 months before the lockdown, okay, before the whole world got shut down. I just decided to got the kit out and start to look at how I can approach it. Because, as I said, up to that point, I was clueless about full coverage. And my experience of cross-stitching was, everything I learned from dimensions. So, excuse me. And beyond that, I was clueless. So when I first tried out this piece, I just tried to stitch it the same way as I approach dimensions, and it was a little bit of a disaster. So I had to do some research on YouTube and realize that there is such a thing. It's a slightly different genre when it comes full coverage, because the methods are different. How you approach it is very different, and also majority of people probably deal with everything from the surface. You don't flip your project over. So how you set up your project, your fabric, is also different. So I had to learn from scratch. Up to that point, I would turn the project back and forth, because you really don't need to do that so frequently with, projects like dimensions, because very little confetti, if at all. I think 0 confetti. But I made a fatal mistake there. If you're watching my Gecko Rouge stream before, and when people are trying to figure out what was wrong with the project, and some of them go, well, maybe you stitch on the incorrect orientation. Instead of landscape, you do it portrait. It didn't happen with my Gecko Rouge, but it happened with this project. Okay, and I still have the fabric there as a warning to myself. The previous project, I started the first page from the center, and almost, probably half a page or close to a page into it, I realized I was stitching in a utterly incorrect orientation. It was shocking, and I was quite a bit into it, and I was feeling so disheartened. Didn't know what to do, and so I left it for a little bit longer, and finally had the courage to pick it up again and restart with another piece of fabric. So it can happen if you're not careful when you frame your fabric without checking, once and twice and 3 times. That could happen too. So this is the second start. And luckily, the kit actually comes with a lot of fabric, a lot of floss. So I wasn't too worried about running out. And by the way, this is the floss that comes with the kit is I believe it's Egyptian. What is it? Egyptian. Is it floss, threads, whatever they call it? Oh, this one is not correct. Hang on, I need to make sure that I don't mess it up already. Egyptian something. You guys know. Suzanne will know. Egyptian, not floss, but you know the one I'm talking about. Cotton. Thank you, Silver. Oh, Silver. She's not mad at me. Good. Egyptian cotton. That's it. And it's quite nice to stitch. I like the texture. So it's all good. So this one is correct. Oh, actually, this is fine. I just need to mark this one. So this is, I gave it a second chance, and I'm really happy. So by the time I restarted this piece, I already knew a little bit on how to approach it better. So, you know, the second time, the restart went a lot better. But then, you know, things, you know, surely after the restart, I just got sucked into the whole heaven and earth world and started to explore 25 count projects. So I kind of neglected this one a little bit until maybe beginning of this year. And I just missed some of the 14 count action there. So I came back to all these projects that I kind of parked on the side and revisited them, and I love them. So now I have a really nice balanced blend of different fabric counts, different type of projects. I love heaven and earth, but I also have these ones to contend with, and also Gecko Rouge as well. It's nice to have a mixture of things, isn't it? Let's have a look. Oh, Sylvia says, I'm stitching on a very beautiful piece from Keru. The designer doesn't name her pattern, so I named the Mother's Love. And it is the feeling that you get when you look at it. Oh, how beautiful. Yes, that's a beautiful name. Wonderful. Susan says, I just posted the finished Autumn Town. You finished it, Susan, my darling. And now doing a Woodland Santa, drinking coffee. Very nice. I do have a few sips of leftover cold coffee here. I might sip a little bit and to satisfy the craving for another coffee. I'll try not to. How wonderful for you to have a completion. Amazing. Actually say, Yogi, do you have any herbal tea recommendations? So to be honest, Puka is my go-to, and also Tea Picks as well. I think Tea Picks might be British. This one may be British as well, but I'm pretty sure you can get them worldwide. And there are quite a few I like. My current favorite is Ginseng Matcha. They do have one. I think I've got tea bag here. I can't find it. Yes. They do have another one, just pure matcha here. This is like a commercial, isn't it? They really need to pay me a commission for it. And I have this one as well, but it's slightly stronger. It's got a little bit of, it can make you slightly jittery in the evening. So depending on the time of the day you drink, this is absolutely delicious. But if you want something a little bit more mellow, ginseng matcha. Oh, so lovely. Really tasty. And also, I tend not to have fruit tea because I'm a little bit mindful with fruit tea, particularly those ones with like fruit bits in it. A lot of them have coloring, artificial colorings to make them pretty. So look into the ingredients, making sure that they're you know, it's pure, just tea leaves and the fruits, dry fruits, if you have fruit teas, without any sort of anything that you can't pronounce. Avoid those, because if I drink those, I get headaches. I get headaches if I you know, if I drink tea that's got artificial calorie. It really messes me up. So just real ingredients, but I think, you know, Puka and also Tea Picks, they're my go-to brands, and they have so many different herbal teas as well. Yes. Maddie says, I brought my coffee with me today. I finally able to buy a section. So that's arriving today. A section of what? A sectional. What's a sectional? Yes, I need explanations. Yes. So, you know, if you're not aware already, the traveling library, the Max Colors, has arrived yesterday, and I'm not sure if Heaven and Earth is still having the sale, but yesterday it was a 50% discount as well. So if you want a pattern and join us with the new start together next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, first Saturday in October. My God, it's October, goodness. And you have over a week now to prepare. And on Saturday, you know, the plan is to do a marathon. Me and Nikki, I need to go get hold of Nikki. Where is she? Come forward, Nikki. We need to plan. Well, not much planning. Okay, we just do it. But we need to coordinate the time. So if you'd like to join us and start with a bang with that project, you know, you still have time to get everything together. So now let me pick my next victim here. And I'm going to continue with this area here. It's 902. So I'm doing, in terms of method, it's really mini cross country. There's no particular sort of, you know, method being applied here. I'm just going where I want to be and slowly filling up the section. I quite enjoy that. It's very relaxing to do. Yesterday I was fiddling with windmill. Okay, you saw it. Yeah, in front of your eyes, it evolved from windmill to windmill with no parking, and then turn into free range. Someone named free range. I love that name. It's really easy to remember. Basically going all directions wherever I wanted. And yeah, so according to Susan, dead flower methodology. Okay, it looked like a beautiful flower, but in Susan's eyes, she saw something else. Okay, not me, that's her. But the pattern looked really beautiful in terms of formation of the stitches. They just look like a beautiful flower blossoming. I like that. So within one session, I transition into at least three different methods. I improvise as I go. You should know by now. That's yogi style. So here we go. And I'm really looking forward to the back stitches for all these projects. Let's have a look. Let's see what everybody's working on. Sarah says fabric and floss for new starts. I think everybody's raise your hands if you have started or looking to start traveling libraries. Give me a little hands here. I know quite a few of you. Even Susan is, you know, venturing into these epic projects. Wonderful. Let's be adventurous, you know. It's good fun. Let's try something we haven't done before. So, Oh, quite a few hands. We've got Silver Stitches, Turtle Stitches, Suzanne, Sarah, Chrissy, and Susan, yes. And Ebony as well, of course. Yes, Ebony is joining us with the soul together. So those who are patient, and want to start together, we're doing it in the first Saturday of October, okay? It's only a week away. You can wait, and you have plenty of time to plan your material. You can think about what fabric count, what fabric you want to use, and get everything in order. And we will start together. Oh, how exciting. That's such a beautiful piece. And for those of you who have been buried under the sun, okay, and you don't know which pattern we're talking about, let me show you which one that is. Oh my goodness. Yes, you have to catch up with the greatest and latest news here. Let's have a look. Let me just hide this one for now. Where is it? Here. Let me turn this off and let me show you which pattern we're talking about, okay? Have a look, okay? I'll give you some time to catch up with your breath because you probably go, oh my goodness, can't breathe. Yes, that's quite right. And that's what we felt when we saw the pattern for the first time and second time and maybe the fourth time as well. It is so gorgeous, and all the details, and of course some of you are drawn to the fox, and for me is all the textile, the fabric, and the pattern of that settee. For instance, I cannot wait to stitch that settee on the left, and it's got so much going on. It is probably one of the best Amy Stewart artwork. I will go as far as saying that. She's got many, many beautiful pieces, but this one is something else. Yeah, there you go. It's in front of your eyes. So if you want to join this one, it's called Traveling Library, okay? And you can join us, and together. I know some of you, couldn't wait, have already started. I do not blame you, okay? But it's more fun starting together. So, your choice, your choice. Just imagine making that first stitch together live here. From stitchers all over the world. Leslie as well, mirroring, and Michelle says maybe by the end of me showing that mock-up, now is a definitely Michelle, right? And Michelle Fuller as well. So Michelle Brown says maybe. Michelle Fuller is all for it, and Laura as well, Caroline, and oh, hello Claudia, are you doing this piece as well? And Betty as well, Betty Lou Taylor, of course, and Lorraine. Yes, Suzanne is waiting for the fabric and that she can start. Suzanne, we have more than a week, more than a week. So it's all good. It's all good. I'm sure you can figure something out and join us. And I've already ordered my fabric. Oh, finally, because I've been thinking going back and forth with, what fabric count, what fabric I was going to do. And finally, now I have to make a decision. So I've ordered my fabric, okay? And I'm feeling very peaceful. I'm just waiting for the fabric to arrive. I cannot wait. So, and it's an epic piece there. Susan says, I looked at the chart today. There's 3 line overlap. Yes, Susan, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you mentioned that. I've been, making mental note to make sure I mention it. Yes, Susan, wonderful. Round of applause for Susan for noting that. Yes, because yesterday, initially, I imported it to Pattern Keeper. I couldn't wait, so I just wanted to look at a markup there. And Pattern Keeper didn't ask me particularly for overlaps for this pattern. It just came in, and that was it. Maybe it did. I can't remember. And so, majority of Heaven and Earth patterns so far, no overlaps. So I have no idea when they create overlaps and when they don't. But this one has 3 lines, 3 stitches overlap. Just make sure. If you see my disaster with Gecko Rouge, you will know this is really important to check the PDF. Don't just hit import and hope for the best. Because when I imported it to Paradise to convert the file in order to import to Saga, Paradise, the first try with this pattern and also the other pattern I bought yesterday, both have 3 lines overlap there. And for some reason, I just assumed they didn't, because majority, as I said, Heaven and Earth patterns did not have that. At least the ones I bought. So I selected no. And to be honest, if I didn't check the total stitch count, the markup came out beautifully. I could not notice. So it's a trap there. Definitely check the total number of the stitches. And luckily I did. Okay. So I noticed there are more stitches than is supposed to be. So I checked the PDF page by page and realized, yes, there are overlaps. So I had to do it again and select the overlap, making sure that setting is on. And then the second time, now I know it's correct. So definitely, very good, Susan, for mentioning that. It can happen. So because, clearly Heaven and Earth is not totally consistent with the overlaps. So you just have to check pattern by pattern. Please do so. So don't be like me. It's disastrous. 2.5 years of stitchings, kind of just down the drain there. So take that as a cautionary example there. 2, 3, these 2, and these 2. Good. Alison has a question. When Hey pattern has DMC1, what color is it? 01 and 0. Oh, 1 and 0 aren't the same. Oh, this is my bender here. Yes. Guys, what do you think? I can't remember which is which. I have had patterns that's got 1. I think 1 is white, is blanc. I may be wrong, so correct me. But 01 is the slightly grey color. Let me see if I can bring on my master set here. The DMC master set to show you. And let me know if it's correct, because it can be very confusing. Okay, Alison. So let me zoom out a little bit and maybe remove this one for now so you can see. So this is my DMC master set. So on here, for number 1, I basically use white or blonde. I think it's the same color. Okay, white or blonde, that's 1. 01 is a slightly beige gray color. So these are 2 different colors. And I think Hade would differentiate 1 versus 01. They're 2 different colors. So I don't know whether it's to do with older patterns. Maybe they, use 1 instead of blanc. But so Susan says 01 is light gray. Yes. So 01 is light gray, kind of slight. That's a tint of beige, however you describe it. But one is white. That's my understanding. Is that correct, guys? Yes. Chrissy says one is white or blonde. Yes, I'm right. Because I had to dig into it. That's why I had to make a mental note here on my master chart here, set here. So I don't forget. Because it's very, very confusing. So, so I hope that helps. Salita, hello. Sorry, I'll go back and catch up with people who have just joined. Yes, Salita is in house. And Claudia says, I do the traveling library. Eventually, I'm between position right now. So I'm doing a no buy for the rest of the year. Oh, it requires discipline. Totally understand, Claudia. And it's never too late, because going forward, you should know by now, every Saturday is Amy Stewart Day. So, you can always join in with this piece anytime when you're ready. Anytime. So there you go. Susan Barnes? Oh my goodness, Susan Barnes, I also bought Supersize Sleep Time Max Colors, another new start alone. Beautiful, Susan, you and me, let's start together, that one. I don't know when just yet. Let's take care of the traveling library here. Oh, if you weren't here yesterday, when I went over to get a traveling library, something just hopped into my shopping cart, okay? I have no control over it. This is a phenomenon known to the stitchers. Things just jump into your basket and check out. The tail asked me, do you want supersize your pattern? And I say yes for the first time. So this is the pattern Susan has just bought, and I bought yesterday as well. And I didn't know, to be honest, before I headed over there to buy traveling library, I didn't know I was going to get this one, and I had no idea I was going to get the supersized version. Okay, so this could happen, and absolutely, I'm so happy to do that. So let me just turn this off, and let me show you which one. It's the Ciro Marchetti, one of my favorite artists. We have a song every Monday. Ciro Marchetti pattern here. There you go. Are you ready? Boom. Oh, dear almighty. Susan, you and me, we're going to do this, okay? And I'm ready for the supersize, my first supersize. Just look at how beautiful the tranquility of it, and the sleepy faces, and the bright, beautiful, vibrant colors. Oh, yes, it's definitely a supersize for me. For the first time, because there's so many patterns I love from all artists. I never wanted a supersize, but this pattern just speaks supersize for me, and max colors as well. So there you go. It happens, and I am so happy. I am so happy. Okay, so Susan Barnes, you and me, we're gonna do this together. So here we go. I'm so happy you're joining me. Yes, and now it's a good time to get it if you want it. They do different versions as well. There's a quick stitch, and I think Busy Mom is doing it. It's really beautiful. Go to her channel and watch her webs. Okay, she's lovely, and her projects are lovely, and but they also do mini and regular colors or variations with this pattern. If you love these little squirrels, little kitties, go for it. So Michelle Fuller says, yesterday I bought traveling library Amy Stewart's blanket fort. Jumped in my basket. See? It happens. It's a phenomenon that's known to stitchers. So it's not you, Michelle Fuller. Blanket fort. I'd love to know what it looks like. I'll look it up. And Susan Barnes says, this is my first supersize too. Me too, you and me both. But for some reason, I feel so comfortable with this one being supersized. I don't know why. I'm just following my my spiritual guidance, my stitching, you know, fairy. And I'm sure the fairy is guiding me to the right direction. So I'm following my heart. I'm sure you are too, Susan. Let's have a look. So hopefully, whoever asked the question about 0 and 1, yes, Alison Rennie, yes, hopefully that clarified your question there. And the silver stitches, which is confusing because 3865 and 52000 is also white. I think someone said something yesterday about B5200. It's got slightly different shine. It's got more shine to it. Is that correct? I was wondering that because you can totally replace white with maybe one of these colors and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So, yes. But if you really absolutely do not have, you know, one of the whites, you can always find the kind of replacement. Only you know the difference. No one else will know. Some colors are so close. The way they look is just impossible to tell. And also every batch of every color might look slightly different. So if two colors have very, very subtle shade difference is literally, you know, you cannot tell. You cannot tell. So I know Silver, the cat is adorable, Silver says. Alison had 50,000 stitches of 3865. Goodness. Yes, it's probably snow landscape. Alison's stitching, I'm guessing. Here we go. I'm going to end this color here. Oh, I'm so happy stitching this project. 902. 902. Let me detangle my set here. $902. Good. And oh, a bit of a 310. How about that? I think this one is, yeah, so I can do with a bit of a 310 action here. Why not? Silver says, I just ordered a big kit, so I cannot afford to order another start. Yes, be sensible, you know. I know we enable each other, but be sensible. If you need to wait out a little bit, you know. It's never too late. 310. 310. Bit of 310 action there. Normally, if I call out 310, there'll be a spooky bingo going on there. Because everybody, 310 is the favorite color for all projects. And Silver says, I have heard she's doing a cat bookshop. Oh, referring to Amy Stewart, yes. To accompany the dog library. Cannot wait for that. I know we've been hearing about that rumor for quite a while, and I'm kind of glad that it's not come out yet, because what will we do? Seriously. And so much going on here. So yeah, I think that's what I heard as well from the chat, that she is working on a cat version, which you cannot go wrong, can you? And I just hope they kind of pace it out a little bit so we can kind of tackle it one at a time rather than three at a time. Joy says, I like the depths in traveling library, and the style brings me to the books of the well of time, a typical Tinker Wogan as travelers are called in these books. Can you actually read the book titles? And Joyce, by the way, hello. I didn't see you come in. Joyce is in-house. I know there's so much details going on there. Let's have a quick look of the pattern there. Hang on. I wonder if you can see any book titles. I don't think so, but let's have a look. Let's remove that one for now. Here. Yeah, it really depends, because this is kind of relatively small, and this is the mock-up I grabbed from Pattern Keeper. So this is actually the mock-up of the stitches. This is not an illustration. So this is the Max Colors mock-up. So yeah, I wish I could zoom in a little bit more, but it's you can almost see the writing on this note here, you know, at the bottom of the table, the round table. There's a little note there, and you can literally read what's on there. I don't know. I think when you zoom into the pattern, you can probably see it. And also at the back, there's some writing on this little kind of letter holder. There's some writing there as well. That'll be interesting to know. And guys, you have to think about where to start. Where would you start, guys? Do you have any idea? I have some idea, but I'm going to hold it. I'm going to let you know on the day of our sale. But I would like you, like your ideas. Where would you start? Let me just leave the pattern there for a little bit so you can have a look. Oh, I'm a little bit behind. Hang on, let me scroll down. Silver says top right, and Suzanne says the note says harmony for Michelle's daughter. Is that a note? Oh, I can't really read just from here because it's quite small on my screen, but that's where the name is, because I heard about a story. I thought it was on one of the book titles. So it's the note there. That is so moving. Yes, that's lovely. I'm going to enjoy stitching this piece. Totally. Suzanne says there's actually quite a lot going on. The top left might not be a bad thing to start there. There are a few people who started from on the what is it? The non-max color ones, the regular color ones. Majority of the ones I've seen are top left starts, because there are a whole bunch of books there, but also some ceiling as well. So, you need to think about whether that's going to sustain your, attention span. But I don't think, there is a bad starting point with this piece. Joy says, Wheel of Time is a book series in real life. People that live in this kind of wagons are in these books. Oh. Wheel of Time, yes. I can imagine that. Suzanne says, I also noticed the sunbeam coming through the window. I know. And there's a little sort of lantern looking thing, kind of blue lantern. That is so pretty. So much details going on here. Silver says either top right or bottom left. Yes, Susan Barnes says, yes, this is my experience as well. Susan Barnes says, when I put the pattern in Pattern Keeper, it didn't ask me about a page overlay. Now I'm worried. Yes, that's why when I imported it to Paradise for conversion, I select no overlap. That's why I did that, because when I imported it into Pattern Keeper first, it just went in. There was no questions asked. That was it. So, and I'm starting to wonder whether that was what happened to my Gecko Rouge as well, because they're supposed to ask you if they detect there's something, slightly different with the grayed out stitches. No, it didn't ask, but the stitch counts were correct though on my Pattern Keeper. It was when I imported it to Paradise, I noticed, the pattern actually has overlay. Yes, watch out, guys. Check and check and check again. So, here we go. Let me switch back. Yeah, it's always interesting to hear everybody's idea in terms of where they want to start. It gives you kind of new insight into how, you may approach. No center start at this point. No one says center start. Miriam says, one of the books on the floor is called Harmony. Let me bring that up again. One of the books on the floor is called Harmony. Are you referring to the books on the by the table? Let me bring that up here. Trying to find Miriam's. So Miriam says, one of the books on the floor is called Harmony in honor of Michelle's daughter that passed away this year. I can't read the title that well, but is it the note on the floor that's saying that, or is it the book title? From what I remember, it's the book title. Yeah, that's so sweet. There's such a small kind of, gesture into such a masterpiece. It's gorgeous. I think as we stitch the piece, we're going to find more, because that's normally how it happens, isn't it? There's so many things to discover. Kelly says, I've been listening while stitching a small ornament. To everyone stitching traveling library, have fun. Yes, it's a festive stitching time as well. Such a fun time to stitch. I mean, all seasons are fun throughout the year, but I think particularly the second part of the year, because you have the Halloween, you have the Christmas coming. You're just adding so much more to the stitching. Am I here? Let's have a look. 1, 2. Let's make sure. That I'm actually stitching correctly. This is 310. Toto Stitcher says, I have thought about whether I might use metallic thread or blending filament in a few spots to make them shiny, like the kettle and lamp bob. Yeah, that sounds lovely. And talking about that, yesterday we were talking about the specialty threads, and I had a look at Susan as well. Susan Barnes. I don't know whether you had a look at the thread list. There are actually those specialty threads for the background as well. There's some twinkly bits for the maquette piece, sleep time, at the background. So that would be interesting to do. Slightly twinkly bits there. Sarah hasn't decided where to start. So Miriam says, hey, are Pattern Keeper compatible? In theory, I think it's still worth checking. Because when I got my Gecko Rouge, because Gecko Rouge, they don't give you thread numbers, not DMC numbers. So they actually provided a separate thread cards to use on Pattern Keeper. So there's some sort of collaborations there. For Pattern Keeper, you know, if you put in the Gecko Rouge thread cards, it knows what swatches to represent. Well, maybe it's hidden in the thread cards. The Pattern Keeper knows, you know, if they go 12, it means this color or whatever. So it came out on Pattern Keeper as far as color goes correct, but not an overlay. I don't know. I'll probably sort of, you know, never know what happened to my Gecko Rouge, whether it asked me a question, you know, about the overlap. I said yes, or maybe it didn't. I have no idea. Or maybe I should try again to import it, see if it does it again. But whichever way, it's too late for me on that project. Suzanne says under the note. So is that a book under that piece of note that says harmony? Well, a heartbreaking story. So I don't know what happened to the daughter. I have heard about the passing of the husband, but I didn't realize. I only learned very recently that she lost the daughter as well. That's just so heartbreaking. Let me end this thread here. It's getting very short. Susan Susan says, I definitely think you need to do a squirrel start for the sleepy time. Actually, it's not impossible. It's not a bad idea because the squirrel is pretty much on at the upper right corner, isn't it? It's not that far away. So, you know, you never know. It might just happen. Yes, Joyce. Yes, it's worth doing the multiply the numbers and get the total. You know, I never used to check. Only very recently since I started using Saga, then I have to check and double check because you know it had come out weird a few times. Otherwise, I never had the habit of checking, particularly with Heaven and Earth projects. I just go, well, hey, it's just what it is. If the markup looks fine, it's fine, but it's very subtle. Because yesterday when I imported, as I said, the traveling library without the overlay on Paradise, the markup looked perfect. You can never tell. You cannot tell. So don't rely on the markup because you know, with or without overlay, it doesn't really show. You can't tell the difference. But Doohy, hello, welcome. Oh, Suzanne is looking for a Windows start. And I think it's a good idea as long as you can kind of find the correct location. You know, I think it's great to start from somewhere that you're just most drawn to because it will keep that motivation going, you know. I know some people like the kind of, you know, to work the area and have their favorite part to the end. Not for me. I dive nose in to the area that I like most and start from there. That's my approach. And Silver says, hate paint-free crafts, thread geeks, or pattern keeper compatible. I got patterns from all three of those companies. The majority from Hate. Yeah, I think majority. I think all the patterns in PDF forms nowadays probably have pattern keeper in mind because if the patterns are not compatible with pattern keeper, you just create a lot of problems for stitchers. So I think you know even patterns on Etsy, etc. Like the Halloween soul that we've got, no problem at all on pattern keeper. I think it's wise for them to make it 100% compatible with pattern keeper because that's what everybody uses. Let me just undo this stitch. I haven't done that one yet. $3.10 goes on. Miriam says there are companies the pattern keeper have on their list of pattern keeper compatible Hates and Artisy and True I Remember. Yeah, I think if you're a chart creator, you know, the first priority is making sure it's compatible with pattern keeper. It just makes your pattern your pattern's more sellable, isn't it? Because majority of people, when they buy from a company, they're going to go, are you compatible with Pattern Keeper, first of all? I think going forward, who knows? You know, if ever Saga kind of takes off, maybe the pattern creators will start making Saga compatible pattern. Because currently we're using Paradise to convert it to Saga, dot Saga, right? Or a dice rather, but and then export it to Saga format. But I think if you're a chart creator using the chart creating tools, there's a format called I think something V. Is it? I can't remember because it's listed on Saga. That is a raw format from one of the chart creating programs. So as a chart creator, perhaps you can just export your charts in one of those formats for people to purchase, you know. And that will make our lives a little bit easier. Hang on, I've got this wrong. Here. Suzanne says, I bought a couple of patterns on Etsy that didn't work on Pattern Keeper. I was super annoyed. Yeah, that's bizarre. Unless the patterns are old and created maybe, you know, a few years back and they didn't bother to update it. Because for newer patterns, it makes no sense not to check, you know, and make it compatible with Pattern Keeper. It doesn't make sense at all. But I also discovered there is a whole genre of kind of paper patterns, particularly for samplers type, because literally, you know, if, for instance, the 101 alphabet pattern I bought, you can only buy them in paper form. They don't have anything digital, probably because it's too easy to I don't know, to pirate or something. I don't know, because samplers, they're a lot simpler, isn't it? So there are a lot of patterns out there, particularly samplers, you can only buy in paper form. Oh, I'm going to start to stray away from the page border, and I can. So, hooray. And we've got so this person, sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Hello, says, hi, how are you? May I know what kind of app you use to recognize the stitches? I think you're referring to the app I'm tracking the stitches with. It's an app called Saga. Let me show you what it is. So it's a very nice, I wouldn't even call it alternative. I think it can do a lot more than Pattern Keeper, but it's not as popular here in the West because a majority of people probably don't know what it is. Majority of people using Pattern Keeper. So this is an app that's developed by developers from Russia. It's very, very good. So it's called Pattern Cross Stitch Saga, and quite a lot of us in a group are using it. So hopefully we're spreading the words because we love it. So welcome to the chat. Let me take a sip of my tea here. Silver says, I tried to find Saga, but could not. As I wanted to give it a go, I'll stick to Pattern Keeper. I have a huge Samsung tablet. Honestly, it's bigger than Google Chrome. I can see the symbol. If you're happy with Pattern Keeper, definitely. Pattern Keeper is, you know, yes, the switching mode is a little bit fiddly, but otherwise, you know, it's what you see is what you get. It's very much like as if you're working on PDF, other than the fact that you can, you know, you can mark the stitches. Definitely, Pattern Keeper. If you're happy with it, you know, it's a great app. Sarah says, my long dog samplers have all worked in Pattern Keeper. That's nice. So I think it's probably a sort of policy for chart makers, chart creators, particularly a lot of, you know, artist-based, how do I put it? There's a whole genre, isn't there, that you can only buy paper pattern. So that happens too. So here I am going to end my 310 here. And I'm sort of going off the page border a little bit because I can, but I don't want to go too far. I want to stick with kind of this area. I want to come back and work on this canopy. It's so cute. So, oh, I love shops that looks like this. 310 here. Joy says, Golden Kite does work on Pattern Keeper. You do have to enter your password. Oh. I've never bought any pattern from them, so I have no clue. So here, let's have a look. Let's pick my next victim. And I can, oh, the great thing about Saga. The viewer, sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Let me show you one features you might love. One of the features I absolutely love with Saga is the fact that now I'm trying to pick my next color, right? And I kind of go, well, I just want to know, you know, that I don't want to stitch something too light right now. I want to make sure that I pick the color I like. What I can do is to invert my chart. So what it does, it shows, it flips the area over. So now I can look at the area that's not completed yet. So I can go directly in and pick the color I like and work on that color. So this is the kind of freedom you don't have with Pattern Keeper, for instance. It's kind of a luxury, to be honest. It's not essential to work on a chart, but it's one of the options you have if you use apps like Saga. So now I know I just pick the color, exact color I want to work on, and the locations. So 355, 355. 355 is running a little bit low, so I might need to do a little top up on this thread very soon. 355. Let me see. Miriam says, I always use a working copy of my paper pattern so I can mark off my stitches as I go. You know, there are occasions, if I only have paper pattern, I tend to take a photo, use a scanning software on my phone. Literally just taking a photo, but it's got some correcting functionality to it, so you know, it comes out a bit better. But I still try to turn it into a digital format, even if not using a markup app. If I'm not able to do that, I'll just use the PDF version. I just refuse to work with paper because I don't know. I'm just terrified that I'm gonna mess it up and lose the copy. Let me see. Where am I? 2 here. Yes. So before I discovered Pattern Keeper, even though Pattern Keeper has been around for a little while, I didn't know about its existence until maybe 2022. So prior to that, I just used something like a Good Reader, which is a PDF reader, and oh, where am I? Yes, and just use a highlighter that's built in to just manually mark them rather than, you know, using papers. I don't know how to do it. Here I am going to end this here so I can take it to a different location. So just 2 stitches here. And I'm gonna just unmark this one because it's not done yet. Whoops. Here. So it says trying to see how you end your how you end your thread. With full cross, I tend to just do a tuck in, just find a nearby stitch that's similar in color and just put my needle through and push down and pull it through. It's quite secure. So you can do a boomerang as well, but it takes a little bit more work. I'm lazy, so I just push the needle down and it seems to be fine. So far so good. That one, and I think this one I can take the thread over because it's relatively unstitched here, so it should be good. So if I have to take my thread over stitch area, I normally just end it rather than, you know, allowing the thread to float underneath, which I don't like. I do a yogi move sometimes as well. Marsha, my darling, Australia is waking up. Hello, Marsha. Marsha, I saw your post on the group. You got that new pattern, the bakery. You know, the one, Kim Jacobs, cobblestone bakery. That pattern is beautiful. And you got a regular size as well. That's absolutely correct. I think minis not doing it justice. I will be getting a regular version as well. A few more stitches here. Might as well go for it. 1, 2. That one hasn't been done yet. Hang on. So 1, 2, this one is not done. It's a little bit fiddly with Saga at times like this. Color switching. Okay, so I am going for this one. I think this is the one. No. Yes, it is. Just double checking. No, it's not this one, it's this one. Fiddly type. Yes, it's the one I'm looking for. Okay, so there's one stitch, literally, just here. Single stitch. Chrissy says, I just made me a salted caramel cold brew, as in coffee. Oh, that sounds delicious. Salt and caramel, yes. I can see that working together very well. I think as we're moving into autumn and, you know, slightly colder season, hot drinks, hot chocolates are going to be popular for us. Take it over here. Claudia says, I still use a lot of paper patterns. I started knitting using an app called Knit Companion. I know the app. I used it for a little bit when I was knitting a lot. And she says, which does brilliant things with charted knitting. So that gave me the nudge to try Pattern Keeper, and I love it. I know, because I subscribed to that knitting app when I used to knit a lot more, just briefly before this full coverage rabbit hole that I fell in. And I think that app was developed from one of the knitting YouTubers, right? I can't remember her name, but that Pink something, if I remember correctly. And yeah, I think it's quite good. You pay for a yearly subscription. And when I first switched to stitching full coverage, I actually attempted to use that app as a markup app, because that was before I got Pattern Keeper and I didn't have an Android tablet. So I thought, well, maybe I can double up that app using it for markup, with mixed success. I decided it wasn't that that's suitable for marking cross stitching, but I tried. Two more here, see if I can make it with this piece of thread. It should be okay. There. And normally I just go to a nearby stitch. I tend to take it maybe a couple of stitches away if I can, because you will create a sort of running thread underneath, which would get tucked down, stitched down. if, you know, this ending ever, the thread starts to pop up, will most likely get stitched down underneath already. So it's really, you know, quite secure. I haven't had problems with this method of ending. There. So let me see, what shall I go next? Let me take a sip of my tea. Oh, lovely. Kelly says, Pattern Keeper experts, how do I get the app between devices and keep my progress? Of course. Oh, with Pattern Keeper. It's a bit fiddly, isn't it? Let me see. So this is Kelly's request on the chat. I think Pattern Keeper, you can't do global save. So I think the best you can do is to save every single pattern. Depends on how many you've got. You've got as many as I do. It's a bit of a nightmare. But if you save them individually, I believe you can save the progress as well, isn't it? And then upload one by one to the other side. I think that's probably your best bet. No? Vadui is asking, is Saga a paid app? On iOS, yes. And I think it used to be on Android as well, but currently you can download it for free. But it is a version that is slightly older. And the developers, courtesy from them, they release a link that you can download for free for Android for now, until they get reinstated, relisted on the App Store on Android. But on iOS, yes, it's a paid app. And it should be. They should be rewarded and compensated for their effort. Absolutely. Right. Oh, nice pink action here. Why not? 3713. 3713. It's a lovely pink. Look at that. First pink today. And I think I'm going to take 2 pieces because I want to keep going. Quite a few stitches here with this pink. Kelly says Drive can be backed up too. I don't not too sure how that works, so maybe you can explain. Yeah, I think Pattern Keeper, if they could come up with the, if they can't do the cloud save, which is it's more involved because literally they need to create that. It's quite a major feature, isn't it? Cloud syncing. Even without syncing, if they can do what Saga does, as in allowing the users to do a global app level save, that will make the life a lot easier. And I just tried that with Saga. It worked beautifully. You just save the whole lot, the global, the main section. You save the whole thing, all the patterns. Doesn't matter you have 3 or 300, I'm presuming. And it just creates a zip file. And you can designate the location to save it. And then I tried to upload it on my iPhone, and everything just loaded up with progress beautifully. No problem. You know, obviously, cloud save would be better, but then they have to fiddle with accounts, you know, user account and all that things, that type of stuff. They probably don't want to go there. But global save is just as good. It's fine. Well, you have to manually do it, okay, frequent enough for it to be meaningful, but it's much better than individual save with each file. Suzanne says, I use Google File and export them there. But you have to do it file by file, right? Pattern by pattern. And I think that's the fiddly bit. One, two, three. Let's have a look. Two. Yeah, something's missing here. One, two. Green. Okay. These two are not done yet. And these two are not done yet. One, two. That one's done. That's better. Okay. Miriam says, Karen from the Needlebug did a couple of how-to videos on using cross-stitch chart and knit companion. Right. But that's provided if you already have knit companion. It's not I think there's a free version, but I think I remember I was paying for the subscription. And you could technically mark grids, you know, if you, yeah, I don't know. You could try. But I think your best bet would be using proper markup apps, because that's what they're designed for. Oh, Ria says, I do it every finished diagonal, so I have a copy of anything happen to my device. Ria, are you talking about Pattern Keeper? That's so organized. There's just no chance for me doing that. I think for Pattern Keeper, I've been using for over 2 years. I probably backed it up some patterns once. That's it. Because it's so fiddly to do. I don't want to do it. So it would be a nightmare if I have to transfer to another device. Luckily, I have not needed to. Where am I exactly? I'm here. Right. Totally lost my way here. One, two. 1, 2, 3 here. If it's fiddly, I tend not want to do it. So that's just the way it is. I think with saga it's so easy to do with everything, so I'll probably try to do it. I don't know. I think every day is a little bit of a stretch for me, but maybe at least once couple of days or at least once a week. I'll do my best. Oh, Susan. Oh, with the Android. So Android Saga does not have the global save. Oh, right. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so probably because it hasn't been updated for a little while, so it doesn't have the newer features. But for iOS, it's very easy. Okay, so that's a little bit of pain. Ria says, I love it organized. Yes, better you than me. I'm not organized at all. I'm lazy, so the least I can do, the better. I know, Silver. Not just per session, but per diagonal strip. But do he has a question. How do you back up patterns in general for Pattern Keeper in case tablet goes back? I think that's just been discussed here, but do he? I think some mentioned that you can back up the drive, but I don't know how that works. But I think correct? Individual files. I've done individual files, but I kind of gave up after 3 patterns. You know what it's like. I've got like 25 patterns minimum on Pattern Keeper, so no chance of me being so organized. But it's a peace of mind if you remember to do it from time to time. So even if you lose some progress, it's not going to be so bad. Right. Here, done that one. And I think I might take my thread over to the other side. I might do a yogi maneuver. So I've just finished my last stitch over here, and now I want to take it over there. I think it should be fine. I can just go straight, because sometimes I'll anchor the thread somewhere under one of the stitches before I move over. But I think this one I should be fine because I'm taking the thread over on stitch area. So I'm good with that. It's such a pretty color. Let me see here. Okay, Silver has come up with an instruction, so I need to digest this. Silver says if you already exported progress to your Google Drive, one, okay, upload a blank copy of the pattern to a new device. Two, check the export name of the file on the drive and remove the PDF at the end. Oh, I have no idea what does it make sense to everyone? Maybe it's just me. So you need to fiddle with the file extension. That sounds a little bit scary. But no problem at all. We know a lot of people watching us at work. So it's quite all right. So hopefully Silver's instruction makes sense. Three. Oh, Silver just copy and paste someone else's answer. Yeah, it sounds a little bit fiddly. I'm not comfortable with changing file extension and that kind of action. It just feels like I'm gonna mess up things. Three here. Ria says you can click import progress on your pattern and your progress is back. Really simple. So I think, Ria, if you, so let's see if I'm getting this correctly. So if you're moving, this is Pattern Keeper, okay? If you're moving to a new device, it's the best thing to just import all the patterns you want to be on that new device blank, right? And then save the progress. Can you just say progress only on Pattern Keeper? I absolutely cannot remember. And then import the progress over rather than, I'm not sure, because with Saga you have the choice between just saving the progress or the whole lot, patterns and the progress. So these are two elements, isn't it? I mean, the patterns themselves is not so much a problem. The worst scenario is you just import them into the app all over again. That's not a problem. It's more of the progress we want, isn't it? So, and I think that's a separate import. So when you save on Pattern Keeper, you're probably only saving the progress rather than the pattern itself, or both. I don't know. I haven't used that feature on Pattern Keeper enough to know. Betty Hankins says, you don't have to change the file extension, just remove the .pdf at the end. Save to the drive or email. Just transfer it to another location for safekeeping. Yeah. Still sounds like a hack rather than to Brienne says that's how that's what I would do, Yogi. Okay. So if you take the patterns themselves out of the equation, things are probably easier. Just focus on the progress you want to save. And Ria says, once you choose where to save, Pattern Keeper automatically gives the name of the pattern with actual date and time every time in the same file. Okay, so it's a timestamp. And also, to be honest, it really depends on the method, stitching method of your choice there. If you do it page by page, it's probably quite easy. Unless you have, you know, a lot of loose stitches everywhere. That's the hardest. Cross countries, yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare if you want to do it manually with an update. From here, 1, 2, 3. Let me see that. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Here. There. Oh, Maria, is that a question for me? Maria says, I can't find your sample stitching for 25 count on Facebook. Where can I find it? I'm thinking about restarting my 25 count project. I don't like how currently comes out. Which pattern? Are you talking about the test stitching I've done, or is it for someone else? If the question is to me, the test I've done was for 28 count, not 25. Let me know which one are you referring to. Lynn Burgess is joining us. Says, hi Yogi and all you lovely stitchers. I'm in for starting SAR with you next Saturday. Yeah! Remember, not this coming Saturday, is next Saturday, okay? The first week of October. We're starting together with the traveling library piece from Amy Stewart. Maria says, yes, testing on 25. No, the test I've done is for 28 counts. So I can bring it up for you. Are you talking about these ones? These ones are 28 counts, not 25. So Maria, so Maria, what are you trying to find out with 25 counts? Are you testing between thread numbers or stitches? Are you doing 10 stitches versus full cross? What are you trying to get out of the tests? Hey, Captain Squirrel. Good morning. Welcome. Betty Hankins says, I learned how during the hay sale last year. So much easier than trying to change PDF to Saga. Oh, you mean conversion to Saga? Yes, it can be a little bit fiddly. You have to go through Paradise. You know, if Saga becomes popular, let's say, and I think it's getting more popular, right? And we might not need to wait for Saga to make it compatible with PDF. Maybe the chart creators can provide Saga compatible files for the download. Why not? If there are enough people using it. Just like Pattern Keeper. They can just release a Saga, .saga format. Three here. It's that one. Maria is asking, how many threads on 25 count for cross or 10? Chat, what do you think? I say 2 is quite a typical thread count, isn't it? Less than that, you're probably not going to get. Sorry, not 2. If you're doing full cross, single strand. If you're doing 10, 2 strands. But I've also seen people working on 25 counts, doing 2/1. So 2 strands, full cross, per stitch. I would imagine it will be a little bit tight, but I've seen people doing it. If some people like much fuller coverage. And also it depends on what threads you use as well. DMC, versus CXC as well. CXC, you get fuller stitches. You may work or for you or against you. Depends on the fabric count. Silver says for 10, 2, for full cross, 1. Yes, I think that's what most people do. I mean, I've heard people kind of going, DMC 1/1 on 25. You can see a little bit of a background. You might be able to see tiny bit when the fabric is stretched and on a hoop or a frame, right? But once you relax the fabric, maybe you give it a rinse, a wash, it might be just fine. You know, all the finished work we've seen for 25 count 1/1, I haven't seen sort of fabric showing through. That's noticeable. So it's a little bit different when the fabric is stretched out. So just bear that in mind. Let me take, oops, let me have a sip of my tea. Oh, Betty says, I received a free chart online last night and there was a PDF and a Saga downloadable. From where? The Pioneer. Yes, why not? Because Saga is getting quite popular. Why not make it compatible? Make people happy, save their trouble having to convert. Which company is that then? Yeah, I think once we tip the kind of critical mass, the creators would will probably start to pay notice. And those ones who kind of, you know, take the plunge first would have our gratitude. Because for them, it's probably not that that much of a trouble to do that. They just need to save them in different format. That's Saga compatible. It shouldn't be hard for them to do. Maybe hate can start doing it, you know? Heaven and Earth, hello. Gecko Rouge, hello. We had Glenn the other day from Gecko Rouge come and visit us. Maybe we should give them a gentle hint on Saga. Claudia has a question. How do you protect your completed stitches when you have to move your hoop over? I'm finally at a point where my stitches aren't going to fit the hoop anymore. All right. Do you mean, oh, I know. So protect the stitch area from the frames or the hoops. So any idea, everyone? I think everybody has slightly different ways of doing it. Silver says, just put them in the hoop frame. My parents have been stitching a long time before I was born. They just put them in the frame, meaning not having to do anything special. Just move them and just frame them. I kind of tried different things, and I'm kind of changing my mind on how to do it. Majority of the time, if I, you know, move the fabric and the fabric is making contact with the frame or hoops, I used to use a piece of felt like this, because I've got like a whole bucket of felt and I use them for various things. So I cut like a long strip and then just, you know, put them around. Let's say if I move the frame, let me zoom out a little bit. I used to kind of layer. So let's say this side is probably, you know, I used to probably just put like a a piece of felt under on top of the fabric before I frame the fabric. But now I don't do that because I notice nothing happened to the stitches, to be honest. And I'm actually sort of framing my fabric quite tight. So even with that, a lot of time, yes, when you remove the fabric, you can see a little bit of the kink, you know, the shape. But other than that, it just stretched back, you know, where to where it is. And the stitch area seems to be fine. Like, you know, all my projects here, it seems to be fine. I think you know, the fabric and the threads are a little bit more robust than we think it is. But also another problem I noticed with some of my particular rounded hoops, probably not so much with Q-snaps type of thing. With these type of wooden frame, some of them, the wooden frame, the ring underneath distort. If I put a piece of felt, these ones are probably okay, but I felt if you keep your fabric on the hoop for a little while, sometimes the thickness can distort the roundness of the hoop. I find that. So now I don't do anything. I just frame. I just move the fabric and frame them. No problem so far. And Silver says, once you complete the project, if you do, and distant dream, Silver, and you wash and iron the fabric, and all the frame marks should disappear. And even without washing, just by stretching out the fabric as you move, you know, to a different location, everything just kind of gets stretched out. Should be okay. And let me pick my next color here. So these ones I've done. Very nice. Let me flip it over. So there's some number ones I haven't done. How about these ones? A baby pink. A19. 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 I'm going to take two pieces as well. This one. Yes, Claudia. Yes. Try not to overthink. Absolutely. The simpler, the better. My policy is always, you know, unless it's necessary, I don't do it. It makes life easier. Oh, Rochelle, Spooky Bingo. I just finished with that one. Which one? This one. A19. You know, we have a term for if I call out a number and about to use it and someone just finished it, we call it half. Is it what is it called? I can't remember. Half bingo or semi bingo. It's kind of like, I'm starting, you're finished. So is that technically a full bingo? Maybe only a half. I can't remember, someone came up with another name. Yes, very nice. Semi bingo is just as good. So let me start from the right side here. I need to compile our dictionary, because we've got so many terms that we managed to come up with. No one can keep up, even I can't. I kept forgetting. Not only I want to remember the terminology, I want to remember who came up with the name, because it's it's important. On the Hall of Fame of our Yogi Dictionary, Encyclopedia. Semi bingo. Yes, exactly. It's still a bingo, only half of it. Or relay bingo. Yeah. Yeah, but it kind of suggests that someone else will have to carry on. Maybe as I'm putting this number away, someone is about to pick it up. Then that's a relay, right? Imagine. Just keep going. Ria. Yes, you can sleep soundly. Now you backed everything up. Very organized. Oh, that one doesn't look right. It's always a bit tricky when you have so many different shades of pale colors, and the fabric is actually got a tint of blue. It's not totally white. And sometimes, it can be tricky. You can mistaken the fabric as being stitched already. So I am going to end this one here and take it to a different location. So it's a little bit far away, the next stitch. Whoops. But I'm not surprised the Ria is so organized, because diagonal stitching strip by strip by itself, it's a very neat way of stitching. Not everybody can do it. I can't do it. It's just way too tidy for me. And so for Ria to be so organized probably goes with the territory as well. How we organize our project and how we stitch reflects on our personality as well. So you can totally tell that I'm messy, okay? With 14 count, sometimes the paler colors, you can kind of tell a little bit more when the two strands are kind of slightly twisted together, you know. And I'm not OCD about they, you know, having them super tidy, but I do my best with particularly paler colors to run the thread through my fingers a little bit. Just sometimes I do this, not every single stitch, okay? I'm not that organized, but occasionally I just do that and release. And I know some people only do that for the second leg, but I like to do that for every single leg as well. It's just a habit. I think only for paler colors it's a little bit more noticeable. I mean, darker ones, yeah, no problem. Oh, Rochelle, there you go. How about creatively organized? That's totally it, because I can see order within chaos most of the time. You know, like my beautiful my beautiful organizers here. And for some people this might be a nightmare, but for me this is totally normal. This is, you know, it's kind of a loosely organized without having to do too much, but everything's still in its place. I know where they are, they're not going anywhere. But if you're super tidy, then you're probably not going to put up with this, okay? You're going to go, oh, I'm going to have to straighten it. But it's like my needle board as well. On the surface, it looks like it's complete chaos, but I just need to reach to the needle and pull it up. Don't have to touch anything else. Everything is good. And I don't have to, you know, put in extra effort to tidy it up. It gets stressful. Everything is there. It's not going anywhere. It's all good. So there you go. I like that, creatively organized. It's like creative accounting. I remember, I like that term. It's all good. Just relax, you know? There's no need to get super nervous about everything. And just do what you need to. Just because you can do, you know, you can do something doesn't mean you should. There you go. The famous word of yogi. Representative of lazy people, okay? I've turned laziness into an art form. And you can be as lazy as me as well. Michelle Clark, hello, hello. Good morning, Australia. You know, you're a bit late, Michelle. You know, Captain Squirrel is already here. Masha is here as well. Oh, Michelle. Michelle says, I like that term. I think it suits me because I'm cross-country stitcher, but I have a system with that. No, cross-country, yes, it looks random, but, you know, there's a direction you're going, isn't it? There's a certain order to it. Absolutely. Where am I here? Right. One, two. These stitches are so pale, so similar looking in colors. And Caroline asks, Yogi, how do you select a symbol in Saga like you do in Pattern Keeper? I can't highlight my next symbol. I know this is something you have to get used to, okay? So I struggle a little bit as well. I know exactly what you mean. because on Pattern Keeper, if you have a shortcut, I normally have a shortcut. I just double tap on a symbol on Pattern Keeper. It switches to another symbol and highlight it, right? In fact, let me just show you on Pattern Keeper. On Saga. Let me just remove this one here. On Saga, you kind of do the same. The only difference is there are a couple of things you have to do in order to switch. So for instance, now I'm on symbol M. That's where I am if you look up. And in order to switch to another symbol, you can't just select another one. It doesn't let you do that. Okay, it locks it. You have to, if you look up to the top of the bar on the top of the screen on the left there, where there's a switch, you have to turn that switch off to remove the border. Even though the symbol still says M, if I tap again, it highlights M again. So the symbol is still selected. So there's a difference between a symbol being selected and being highlighted as well. So two elements. I had to get my head around even now. I'm getting better. So the button here on the right here is a highlighter. It shows you where they are with the border. But the symbol is highlighted. It's not highlighted. It's selected even when you turn it off. It still says M. So, and also in order for you to select the next symbol, you need to remember to lock your chart as well. If not, when you touch the next symbol, you're gonna either mark it or unmark it, depends on where you are with the pencil, or if it's an eraser, you're gonna erase it or mark it. So these are the things that are very different from Pattern Keeper, and it will take some getting used to. Even now I struggle sometimes, but this is how you do it. So two things you have to do. You have to make sure your pattern is locked. That's one thing. And also, like now, from symbol M, let's say if I want to select symbol 2, okay, it's right here. When I tap on it, watch this. When I tap 2 now, you can see on the top, it says 2 now. So 2 is selected, but it's not obvious. For the longest time, I was looking everywhere. It's going, where's the next symbol I just selected? Why is it not highlighted? And in order for you to highlight symbol 2, you have to flick that button on as well. Makes sense? I know if it doesn't, it's not you, it's the app. And I think somewhere along the line, Saga needs to kind of come up with a better solution, because the reason we struggle is not because it's complex, it's because it's not intuitive. If it's intuitive, we can perform multiple steps. We just follow our intuition, but it's not intuitive. So we have to think and rethink, and sometimes we can't remember because it's not intuitive. So it makes sense? So now, when you want to switch to the next one, let's say now I want to select the arrow up symbol, I have to turn the button off. If I don't turn it off, it doesn't allow me to touch anything else. It kind of locks it. So it's a highlighter and it locks it. But without a highlighter and my chart is locked, I can tap on the arrow up, and now look at the upper left there. It's, the symbol changes even though the stitch is not highlighted until I tap the button to the right there. Oh, this happens too. Makes sense? So now the arrow up is highlighted. Okay? So if it doesn't feel intuitive, it's not you. It's absolutely not you. It's me and probably many others. If anybody finds this process intuitive, you're an alien, okay? I'll send you to the alien club. You cannot convince me this is intuitive. You can probably get used to it. Now I'm getting used to it, but it doesn't mean it's good. So two different things. So now I'm going to select my M again and highlight it. Okay. So there you go, Caroline. You and me both, if you're confused. Michelle says it's a public holiday. Oh, excuses. Where I am, so I'm trying to get a bit of sleep, but the cats won't let me. The cat is not on holiday. The cats still have to eat in the morning. Exactly. Okay, I'll let you off. Yes, public holiday. Which holiday is it then? Today is a Thursday, and it's 25th of September. What holiday is it then? In Australia. So that. Oh, Betty is coming back with the, is it the name of the pattern company or brand? CX Hobby Creative. Oh, how nice. I'll be interested in knowing where they're from. Wouldn't that make sense if they're from Russia? So they're aware of Saga and they know that, their audience will probably want a Saga format. Oh, wouldn't that be interesting? Caroline's, yes, no problem. I mean, yes, for now, the only solution for it is probably just try to get used to it. I'm trying to get my head around, but still, I forget to do that. And I struggle a little bit, but until they change it, yeah. I very often kind of use the analogy of shoes fitting. So a good pair of shoes, just like intuitive, apps or whatever, it flows. You just put the shoes on, you walk, you don't think about it, it's comfortable and they fit well. So with this type of operation that I just demonstrated, as good as Saga is as an app, okay, it's got these little pockets of questionable user interface process. I often kind of equate that to ill-fitted shoes, if that makes sense, that the people have to wear. So you buy a pair of shoes, you have to wear them in order to walk, but they're ill-fitted. The sizes are wrong, the shapes are wrong, but you learn to wear them because you have to. And you do it out of necessity, not out of joy. So you're constantly reminded that shoes don't fit. But you have to walk to places, so you keep wearing them. So at the end of the day, if you assess the process, can this person wear this pair of shoes and walk? You go, yeah. But does that mean it's a good pair of shoes? No. So bad interface or clumsy interface is like a bad ill-fitted pair of shoes that you have to wear, but you're not happy. There. Here's my TED talk. I'll get myself off the stage. I'm trying to find where I am. I think I'm lost. I think that it's because some of the stitches are not matched. I think that's what it is. Okay, here. All right. And there's one more stitch here. Nine silver. And Michelle says it's Friday, but in Melbourne. Oh yeah, it's Friday, isn't it? It's next day already. Michelle says in Melbourne we have the AFL Grand Final. What is AFL? It's a football. Or I don't know, I'm just taking a guess. AFL Grand Final tomorrow, but there's a lot of things today in celebration of the GF. Oh Jesus, is that reading secret code? Michelle, spare me, have mercy. What's the GF? So we have the day off today. It's also school holiday for kids. Okay, AFL, GF, of course. Well, the only GF I know is girlfriend. So I need a decoder. 2. Oh dear. 2. I think I've got 2 missing there. With 2. Whoop. That one is done. I'm struggling with this. Precisely what Caroline just mentioned. Right. I'm struggling. All right. Huh. Oh, Betty says, I need a step-by-step video of your thread keeper. Yes, it's actually quite simple. It's just a whole bunch of thread cards. You can download the template if you want one, one's just like mine. I've got PDF templates posted on our Facebook group. Just look on the featured section. So, guys, if you're in our group, look under the featured section. A lot of people not even aware that section exists. I save all the good posts, from all of you under that tab. So it's a record of a lot of really useful things posted to the group. And there's one, maybe at the very bottom, that's my PDF that you can download if you want to have a printer. And you can print these out and just bind them together with a kind of metal ring. These are flexible metal ones that, you can link them together and make them bigger ones. So with my bigger set, like my DMC or CXC, I just link 2 together to create bigger loop and just loop them together. And with the back underneath, this is the idea from stitching masterpieces. I borrowed the idea of protecting the floss underneath with the bag, and that's it. It's really simple. And the rest, these are just like regular thread cards, but I created these myself in the PDF with Illustrator because I want to be able to stick a piece of felt on top to thread my needles or threads. So that's it. I might at some point do a step-by-step, but to be honest, it's very simple to do. You just need the thread cards first, and the rest is very easy. Janelle, hello, Janelle. Welcome. All our Australian friends are here reporting to the chat. It's already Friday for them. Happy Friday. And it's national holiday as well. How nice. Michelle says there's also Melbourne show as well. It's like a fair or something. So there's a lot happening. How nice. What a wonderful long weekend you have there. That one is done. Happy national holiday to Australia. Here. Oh, I'm having trouble finding where I am. Here, I've got it. 2. There. I've got that one. I know what my problem is, because I marked some stitches incorrectly, so when I reference to them, they look different. I think I should be fine with this. Right, Australian Football League. I see. Okay, it's a big final, and this will start getting into the spring racing horses. Spring is a big time for sport, and we like all sports here. Oh, how nice. It's nice you're looking forward to spring already. Over here, we're just getting ready to enter the autumn and the winter. So Michelle, because in the summer over here, it's cold over in Australia. Does that mean it's getting warmer now? Because by Christmas, it's going to be summer over there, where you are. It's a my bender. You're going to be wearing shorts and bikinis over there when we're saying ho, ho, ho. Abney says it reminds me the stitching masterpiece provides saga files. She has a chart. I've been ironing. I can, yes, stitching masterpieces. I can never say the channel name properly. I'm so sorry. She's a chart creator as well. She's got an Etsy shop, and I bet everything she releases probably have a saga version because that's the app she uses. So very good point. If you buy from the lady, then everything is probably saga compatible. Very good point. Yes, I first learned about saga from her, and at that time it looked so exotic. Exotic because I just never seen anything like that. It looked, slightly scary, but then the more I looked into it, the more I realized this is a super duper app, and I'm still learning, for sure. So very, very good of her to introduce this app to us. Oh, I'm falling off the screen. Oh, so Michelle, it's only in Melbourne. But so people in Melbourne get the day off, but not the entire Australia. Oh, that is so unfair. So it's not national holiday. I've never come across something like anything like that. Just city-based holiday, and you actually get a day off. That's very interesting. River, my darling, where have you been? Do we need to get the search party out for you? It's just like, River. Seriously. Welcome. Really good to see you. Because I see you on our Facebook, so I know you're doing well. I'm not worried. It's just nice to have you here. Oh, so Captain Squirrel doesn't get to have a day off. No long weekend for Squirrel. Oh. Yes, Ebony. But Ebony, now you're using Saga as well, don't you? I think there are quite a few people in our group. They're all transitioning to Saga. I'm very happy to see that because it's a great app. It's a little bit fiddly, grant you, but once you got it figured out, it's very good. The Pattern Keeper is just as good, you know. Is if you're happy just marking, it's pretty good app, very good app. Right, let me end this one here before I fall off the screen. I've gone so far off the page. Even the camera cannot capture it. That's how fierce I am moving forward with cross country. Look at me. Who is laughing now? Well, you. Fair enough. All right, all right. Let me move it back. Michelle says the weather people hardly get it right at this time of year. I mean, the weather people have no clue. You know, particularly, you know, weather over here changing every 5 minutes. So I think, and it's so funny because majority of people now, when they check the weather, they don't look out the window. They pull up their app and check the app instead. They do not trust what they see outside the window. Is it raining? Huh, I'm not sure. Let me check my app. Our Rivers being complimentary, so nice to me. Unlike some others in the chat, you know, just roasting me for fun. You know, no name, Steve, Susan. No, I love it. I love it. But River is nice to me. Albany says, yes, I love Saga. The extra features make the fiddly bits worth it. That's true. That's true. I would say, you know, I kind of forgive them for the fiddly bits, and hopefully they can fix it at some point, but they're giving so much. So maybe the group can volunteer to be their persona, to be their user testing volunteers. Because we have a lot to say. Let me have a sip of my tea. Joyce, bedtime for Joyce. Night night, Joyce. Well done. Then going to bed before I fall off my chair. Oh, or you can just fall off the chair and just fall asleep there. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, you just, you know, climb up the chair and start stitching again. So you don't have to walk back and forth from the bedroom. It's too much work, Joyce. That's an idea for you, okay? Just fall off the chair and just, you know, fall asleep there. And keep the stream on. Of course, I'll accompany you to your dreamland. It's my job. River says, I'm wondering if it's worth it to get an iOS tablet for the updated version of Saga. An Android version stops at version 4.56. Yes, I think they the cutoff must have been somewhere around the lockdown when they would take it off the shelf there. Yes, it's really up to you. I think depends on your ecosystem in terms of, you know, your devices. If you already have an iPhone, it makes sense just to get a Apple tablet. You can use it for many, many, many other things. But then I'm biased. I'm an Apple girl, so. But yeah. But would you just get an iOS tablet for that? Probably not, because they're, you know, iPads are a lot more expensive. I think iPad mini might be quite, if you don't mind smaller tablets, it's probably more reasonable. But yeah, I think I haven't really sort of explored the Android version, but from the sound of it, the iOS has got a lot more. For instance, the global save for the entire app is just tremendous. But it's not existed on Android just yet. But I don't know what's happening behind the door there with the developers, because eventually they will have to be, put back on the App Store, and by then they will have the budget and the fund to continue with the development for Android. So everything might get updated then, whenever that is. I don't know. It's about time, really. It's been, the silliness can only go on for so long to be acceptable. Not that it was acceptable to start with. 902. 902. River says, I can get an okay one, as in iPad, for 800 or $80 on Amazon. iPad. I don't think you can get that in that price. Is that used, refurbished, or Apple also have the refurbished version you can look into if you're not sure if you want to invest full price on a tablet, iPad. So what they do is they would get parts that are still good from broken iPads, and they put it together. So they're not used. They're just using used parts and turn them into new iPads. And they tend to be cheaper. So you can find them via their website. So they're called refurbished. Abani says, Yogi, can tell the creators of Saga your comfortable shoes analogy. I knew Abani, someone as refined as Abani, will understand my beautiful analogy with the shoes, okay? And I used that even when I was a user designer, user experience designer, and everybody loved that series. So I'm just reselling that again, and it's working. Yes, exactly. The shoes, the walking shoes. Just because you can walk in those shoes doesn't mean they're good shoes. So there you go. See, I knew someone like Abani would be able to appreciate that. Claudia says, does Apple have an app like BlueStacks where you can run those iOS apps on Android? I use BlueStacks to run Android apps on my desktop or iOS devices. I'm not too sure. The app has been mentioned for the desktop version. That was brought to my attention, but I haven't. Maybe some people know in the chat. I think it's an emulator type of app. I would imagine so. If it's a kind of proper app, there should be an iOS version. So someone may be able to provide the answer. Shall I take it? Why don't I take it to the right there instead of going downwards? I'm going to just fall off the screen here. Yeah, River, if you're just getting an iPad for Saga, I don't know, it's up to you. but it might be slightly overkill. I managed to get a very cheap Android, very basic model, Amazon Fire, for a pattern keeper. For me, it's worth it. But then again, Android devices are so much cheaper than iPad, so it's really up to you. But the iOS version is good for sure. But I'm sure once you get an iPad, you'll find many uses for it. I'm sure. So it's not like you're gonna just use the app. Right, let me find the spot here. 1, 2 over there, and I'm looking for this one. I'm making good progress with this little shop here. Hey, crossed up with the chiffon. Hello, welcome. Oh, $80, River. Is that a real iPad? I don't think you can get an iPad, at least not a new one, with $80. You've got to be careful. It might not be Apple, it might be Orange. If you want to buy Apple devices, buy from Apple. It's probably the best. So you know it's all kosher, and you have the warranty for at least a year. Oh yeah, River, refurbish. Then buy straight from Apple. They have a section on their website. I don't know about the app, but if you go to their website, there's a refurbish section, and they're great quality still. It's still made by Apple. They just use parts that from broken devices. They're still useful. They put it together, so it's a great alternative if you want a simple tablet but don't want to spend a fortune. So I think we may have a new joiner to the chat. Sarah says, what app do you use to keep track of your patterns? This is an app called not Pattern Keeper, the Saga, Cross Stitch Saga. So I'm using the iOS version. Welcome to the chat. Night night, Ebony. Sweet dreams. And Reva says, I'm over here with my headphones, quietly stitching along with you while the husband watches TV. Yes. And which piece are you working on then, River? One more here. Very nice. River says, the husband gives me a look because I laughed out loud. Sure, it's apple, not orange. Yeah, I mean, $80 is, it's got to be an orange. And Sarah says, thank you. How are you? And how do you add your patterns there? Sarah just started using my phone and I took a picture of my paper pattern. Oh, I did that for a long, long time. I did that originally for this pattern I'm stitching because this is a cross stitching kit I got from Amazon that came with paper patterns. So it really depends on what you're looking to do, because originally with the paper pattern there's an app called Markup RXP. It exists both on iOS and Android, and it's got relatively good powerful capability to take in scanned. If you scan the paper patterns properly, and it will pick up the images and then turn it into a markable, digital pattern. It's not perfect. It's not a great app. I'm glad that I'm not using it anymore because I've got a digital version now. But if you are stuck with paper pattern and you don't want to work off paper patterns, look up Markup RXP and try it. I think it's got a free version. See if it is sluggish on your app. It was a little bit sluggish, but if you're, it's still better than, paper pattern if you don't want it. So, because in order to use Pattern Keeper or this one, Saga, you do need to have digital pattern. I think Pattern Keeper has got sort of half-hearted import feature, but it's not very good. So if you have paper patterns you're working with, look up Markup RXP and give it a go. And River is working on Seascape for 3 to 4 days, putting away right now to work on the gnome tinker. Ah, very nice. The gnome tinker is it's a beautiful piece. Very moody. Rochelle says, you mean lemon? Yes. Yes. Yes, orange or lemon, citrusy fruits, we know what it's like. Yes, it's a lemon. Thank you, Rochelle. Oh, River, have you got it already? Have you bought it? River says, good thing I can send it back though if it doesn't suit my needs. Do you mean have you actually bought the $80 lemon citrusy tablet? Yeah, if you're buying Apple products, I think it's always a good policy to buy from Apple. It's just peace of mind. It's a lemon. 498. Oh, it's a nice red. I like it. I love this color. You're welcome, Sarah. Claudia says, time to make dinner. While I'm not working, I'm moonlighting as a holly homemaker. What does that mean? Holly homemaker. And Claudia says, I'm enjoying, but I'm a slow cook. Good night, everyone. Night, Claudia. I don't know what a moonlighting as a holly homemaker. Anyone knows? I have no clue what it is. I know what a homemaker is. Rochelle says, I use markup and use it for my Etsy PDF patterns. And I think there's a free version anyway, so you can test out on your device, see if it's acceptable for you. Here we go, 3 stitches here. It's quite apt. The symbol is a heart shape and it's bright red. I think they thought about it. Michelle Clark says, I love markup. It suits my needs perfectly. Exactly. If it's perfect for you, that's the app for you. You just need to try out and find the one that's for you. And everybody has different needs, you know. And I was grateful the markup actually exists. Yes, I'm a bit more critical with the performance, but at the same time, because of the app, I was able to work on these pieces without having to fiddle with papers, you know. So in that sense, I'm grateful. Rochelle is really, Rochelle is a fruit expert, okay? Fingers crossed it's a perfect peach. Oh, there you go. Not a melon. To end up with a melon. You guys are so funny. Here we go. A few more stitches on the right there with this beautiful red. Oh, it's adding a little bit more red because on the mock-up it looks a lot of the red looks a lot brighter, but now it's gradually going that way a little bit more. So this is what I am here. Am I correct? 1, 2. Okay, hang on. Heart shape. These two are not done yet. And that one is not done. There. River says, oh, I haven't purchased it yet. The $80 citrusy topless. I love it. Exactly. Nice and sour. Whoops. This way. Oh, Claudia says holy homemaker is a housewife. Oh, yes, I know what a homemaker is. I just wasn't sure about the holy. Maybe it's a housewife from heaven. Yes. I think homemaking is one of the few things I cannot do. I'm just not very good with housework. I can cook a little bit. I can rustle up a nice meal, I think. But the rest, you know, not really. I cannot organize anything to save my life. One, 2, and 3. Okay, 3 more stitches. River says, oh, I bought an easel like you have, Yogi, for my parking board. Oh, a game changer. That a parking board both. Yes, isn't that so simple and effective? Because my needle board is on the piece of felt, like a thick felt ironing board, and I just prop it against a desktop and easel. So, and it's very easy to access the needles. Yes, it's so simple, isn't it? All right, let's have a look. That's the last one of this color here. I love this color. It's a little bit Christmassy as well. I just need some green colors. It'll be a festive stitching. Here, 498. Look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. I want a piece of chocolate. It's that time of night. Sorry guys, if you haven't got chocolate, I'm gonna eat my chocolate on my own without sharing with you. Oh, that's the sound of good chocolate. Yeah. Snap. Cheers, everyone. Let me know if you're eating power snacks. Right. Let's have a look. I'm slowly filling up this area. It's so pretty. Three 3830. Oh, Susan has just made hot chocolate. Oh, great minds think the same. We both know it's chocolate time. So good. And dark chocolate is really good for you. It's got a lot of, you know, nutrient. River says ice water. For some reason, it's especially delicious today. So is it still warm where you are, River? Because over here, I cannot, it's unthinkable to drink ice water, even though I still enjoy a Diet Coke here and there. But ice water is just not really, you know. There you go. I think at least in London now is kind of quite typical temperature for this time of the year. We're about to move into October. The last few days, and then maybe next few days is about 18 degree ish. Colder in the evening, but during the day it's about 18-ish, 17, 18. Not terrible, but it's getting a little bit nippy. So it's quite mild where river is. But that's what autumn's supposed to be. It's like spring. It's supposed to be not too hot, not too cold, mild. Here we go. 3830. Oh, 22. 22 is warm for London. Particularly at this time, I don't think we go above 20 at all. That wouldn't be typical. Not a piece of chocolate. Three seven 3721. All right, I think this color might be my last one, as we're 15 minutes before midnight in London town here. So I'm gonna just fold this thread in half. I've got a few more to go. I probably got about 15, 20 stitches. Okay, and if you're regulars, you know by now what we do at the end of every stream. You know, I bring out the high-tech technology, the game machine, for your enjoyment. And we play a game, little game called Guess My Stitches, okay? And as it says on the tin, you get to guess my stitches, really. There's no mysteries there. Maybe I need to change the name to make it more critic. But you basically get to guess how many stitches I made for this session, and if you win, oh goodness, grand prizes, okay? You get the respect, the R, capital R, respect of all the stitches here in this wonderful group. All right, you get celebrated, and you also get to enjoy a nice buffet with me, okay? It's even better than food buffet. It's emoji food buffet. Am I selling it? Yes. And so come forward, particularly if you're lurking, all right? If you're lurking, you've been lurking for days, you go, well, I don't know what to say. And now is your chance. You can come forward and just throw a number out there, random numbers, no skills required. Look at the chat, they have no skills. But some of them actually manage to win sometimes. Oh, I ask you. Yes, it's true. So it's a game that requires no skills, no knowledge. Or the only requirement is that you can type numbers in the chat, okay? Which is, let me bring out my state-of-the-art game machine here as the numbers are coming in. All right, so I still have a few stitches to go, and while I'm still at it, you have your chance to contemplate and count with your mind. and to come up with a magic number. And maybe tonight will be your night to share the glory and the victory with me. Because I win every night, okay? That's a given. I don't have to do anything. I just stitch, and I win every night, okay? And get to eat the buffet. But you get to enjoy with me, okay? You have to win, and you don't have to come up with a precise number. We pick the nearest number. So you can take your pick there, okay? And obviously every stitch counts. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 5 stitches more to go. So add those numbers on top of your prediction. Because, sometimes we have very close winners. Well, we just allow them to win. Okay, we're generous like that. But you could be the winner. Imagine getting the number precisely correct. That doesn't happen very often. But it could happen, okay? All right. So I've done my last stitch, I think. Let me just double check. I don't want to make mistakes the last minute. Yes, we are good. So there you go, chat. Go for it. And I'll give you a quick recap on what's happening today. So, which number is it? 3721. 3721. Let me pop it back on my organizer here. And let me zoom out a little bit. All right. So this is what's happening today. So today, I've been working on the 3rd page. So I'm probably about 60% with this page here, working downwards. And this is a shop I'm working on. So this lovely little canopy there. And the markup, let me just quickly show the markup. If you haven't seen the full markup yet, oh no, not this one. This one we will be doing Amy Stewart's Traveling Library. This is the one I'm doing. Okay, it's called the Maison Romantique, and it's a beautiful piece. It's a wedding dress shop here, and I'm on the right side there. You can see in the background. There's a little lovely shop there, so that's where I am. And let's have a look. Let's bring on the machine and see how we're doing here. So let's have a look on today's submission, okay? Here we go. It's Betty Lou Taylor is the first to submit the number 234, Susan 256, Tracy Parker alert herself, yay, 223, Captain Squirrel 411. I knew it. Captain Squirrel has confidence in me. She could be very wrong for having that confidence, but I like it. You're my favorite, Captain. And Suzanne 275, Sarah 268, Ara Stitches 335, and Michelle Fuller 282, crossed up with Chevron 199, Lily Stitches alert herself 245, Chloe C 315, and Sarah, welcome, our new joiner here. I think it's about 357. Sarah, we don't think, we just do it, okay? Stop thinking and keep doing it. Sarah, well done. 357, River 265, Betty Hankins 195, Caroline 323, Michelle Clark 220, Rochelle 347, and Selita is a perfect 400. Guys, are you ready? Let me bring on the app screen. Hips may lie, apps do not lie. Okay, here we go. So this is where I am, just to give you a quick kind of overall view of where I am on this piece here, right in the center there. So I'm making great progress. I'm really this neat, okay? So I'm very proud. Let's look at the stat here. Boom. Today's grand total, I have completed 207. There we go. Anyone who can count. Who's got the lowest number? You're probably the winner. So Betty Hankins 195. Close. Have we got someone closer? Anyone who's in the kind of, oh, Siobhan, cross-stitch Siobhan is 199. Otimo, a little bit late, 350, but, no, well, yes, it's 207, so about 100 off. So who's the winner? Who's the winner? Is it 199 is the closest? I think Siobhan. And also we can have two winners and Betty. Why not? Let's have two winners tonight, okay? So let's have a look. So tonight we have who was that again? Yes, Siobhan, and who was the other one? Yes, and Betty Hankins. Well done. Double winner tonight. Is one of those nights. And Michelle, of course, being the regular, and Michelle and Rochelle, tongue twister, they know they have to bring their own food, okay? So here we go. A nice spread from Michelle and Rochelle. And Siobhan says, I win. Yes, you did, darling. And also let me bring on Betty as well. Well done, everyone. And River is being so generous. She's doubling up her spread for missing the last few sessions. Okay, so she's doing good. She's making up for the lost time. And everybody bringing on your favorite food. Michelle is going for hot chili, the spicy food range. And Sarah is bringing unedible medals, okay? Just as precious. Iris, my goodness, that is, well, Iris Stitches has sweet tooth. You just know from the food they provide, you know what they like for their food. Amazing, everyone. So, thank you for joining me today. Enjoy the spread. Everybody dig in along with the winners. And I celebrate you and I bow to you. So from a sleepy London town, we are 4 minutes to midnight. Yogi signing out. And tomorrow is another day. It's already Friday in Australia, I know, but we are moving into Friday. So Friday is stitch anything you want day. And Friday, remember, from last week, on Friday and Mondays, I have classes later in the evening, so we will be starting a little bit later, but it will be equally fun and exciting, of course. So if you're around, and come join me, and we start a little bit later, and we're going to enjoy the spot of stitching together. So bring your favorite projects here and come and meet me. So see you tomorrow, guys. I salute to you. 99.99, everyone. Have a great night wherever you are. Bye bye.